gagawin mo kung bumalik yung ex mo? All of a sudden, nag-chat siya ulit, nagpaparamdam, and hindi mo alam kung ano yung ibig sabihin nun at kung ano yung gagawin mo. Welcome to Love University. I am Grace, the podcast host, and here we want to learn all about love. So join me here and click the follow button so that we can journey together. And also follow me in all of my social media channels, mostly on TikTok and Facebook. So going back, you might have clicked this episode kasi iniisip mo kung may chance pa ba na bumalik si ex. At kung bumalik man siya, ano kaya yung meaning nun? At papabalikin mo ba siya? Pero bago yan, if you've been following me for quite some time, especially on TikTok, you know that the number one rule that I always tell everyone is to block their ex. At may dahilan yan. Okay? This will actually allow you to have that time to think rationally, to think logically, na makapag-reflect ka on what really happened to that relationship, na parang isipin mo ba, bakit ba kayo nag-break? Ano ba yung dahilan? And be realistic about it. That is the greatest reason for blocking, or what we call nowadays, the no contact rule. So, I hope that you don't continue with this episode if you have no plans of blocking that person. Hindi lang siya dahil ex na kayo, but there is logic behind it. Now, if you're one of those who had that time off or that time away from their ex already, and nangiisip ka if babalik ba siya, at kung magkakabalikan pa ba kayo, let's talk about that. Based on what I've read so far, there's a high chance of an ex to come back. There is a high probability, around mga 30 to 40%, na magparamdam siya ulit sa'yo. But it doesn't mean, nor does it guarantee, na magiging okay kayo ulit this time around. Pero dun muna tayo sa side na, bakit ba bumabalik si ex? Sobrang daming dahilan. And ito yung ilan sa kanila. First is, pwedeng naramdaman talaga niya na nagkamali siya. Tapos ang malapit pa dun, yung rebound niya, wala palang panama sa'yo. O kaya talagang na-realize niya na life without you isn't just as amazing as when you were around. Lakas naman. Another reason is, pwedeng hindi nila matanggap na lalo kang nag-improve, gumanda, pumogi, sumaya, nung wala na sila. At nung nagsimula kang mag-entertain ng iba, hindi nila matanggap na mapupunta ka sa iba. Wow ha? Ito pa isang reason. Very true. Na pwede mo ring ma-experience. Nalasing ka, o kaya nalasing siya, sobrang lungkot talaga na they find comfort in getting in touch with you. Or you are the first person that they go to na nakasanayan nila in times like that. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing though. Another possible reason is hindi pa talaga siya nakamove on sa'yo. Hirap siyang mag-move on, hirap siyang mag-let go sa memories. But the last reason that I can think of na pinakamagandang reason sa pagbalik ng isang tao is na-realize niya na kung ano yung mga naging problema niya sa sarili niya when he or she was with you. At na-work out na niya yun. Naayos na niya. Or maybe the situation that he or she was in at the time nung magkasama kayo na nag-cause ng breakup nyo, wala na. Sabi ko nga, sobrang daming dahilan. And even if may sabihin sila sa ating reason, we don't even know if that could be true. We can just take it as it is. But the most important question is, dapat pa bang magkabalikan kayo? Should you allow this person back into your life? When I phrase this question, should you allow? I am giving you the power. Because you have the choice whether you would like that person back or you don't want. May choice ka. Okay? May choice ka. Hindi porket bumalik siya, automatic na, okay, tayo na ulit. Kasi this time, actually, bago pa siya magparamdam ulit, and during the no contact rule, during the time na naka-block siya sa'yo, kailangan mo munang, after mong umiyak, okay, after mong mag-grieve, kailangan mayroon kang time na ihiwalay, somehow, even just a little bit, yung isip mo sa puso mo. Kasi diba, as the saying goes, an ex is an ex for a reason. What is that reason? Was there someone at fault? Was there a situation or a person who caused your breakup? Or was there something that was always lacking in your relationship? Now, if you want to let that person back into your life, I hope na sinigurado mong nasagot mo na yung mga tanong na yan. So, those 3 questions, it's here. It's also in the show notes so that you can really dive deep into these questions. And the next step after you answer those questions is, this time around, posible na bang ma-resolve yung mga problems na yun? Or, ano yung chance na maulit yung mga past issues nyo? Unfortunately, the only control that we have is toward ourselves. For example, the cause for the breakup is, ito na-experience ka to, masyado kang naging needy or masyado kang naging clingy and that person is just simply not comfortable with that. They want their time alone. They don't want to just spend their time solely with you. Kasi syempre may individuality yan eh. And they found it suffocating. Now, if you think na-resolve mo na yon, hindi mo na yung problema, then that is a good sign na pwede na kayong mag-work ulit. But, let's say may third party. At nawala na yung third party, kaya nakikipagbalikan na siya ulit sa'yo. The problem is, lalo na kung siya yung may third party, actually, kahit kung ikaw pwedeng nawala yung tao na yun. Pero, nakita mo na may chance na magka-third party ulit kayo. And that alone is a reason to not get back together. Kasi, you have to find out, bakit nagkaroon ng chance na magka-third party? May kulang ba? Hindi ba siya sapat? Or hindi ka ba sapat? Kasi pwede siyang maulit. Diba? There's no guarantee. Are you gonna be willing? Kung ikaw man yung nagka-third party, are you gonna be willing na talagang to devote your time to this person and commit to that person alone? Walang ibang taong makakatumbas sa kanya. Can you really say na kaya mo na yun? Or kaya niyo bang sabihin at mag-commit na ikaw na lang talaga? Or ito, mas lagi ko itong na-experience yun. Yung, was there something that was lacking in the relationship? And fortunately, naging sikat na yung concept ng love language. So, a few of my exes, I had 6. I had 6 exes. Most of them, I felt like there was something lacking in the relationship. And one example that I can talk about right now is yung love language namin ng isa kong ex. I felt like I don't appreciate his love language and he doesn't appreciate mine. I don't feel loved kasi hindi ko na-appreciate kung paano niya ako mahalin. So there was something I feel like lacking. Unfortunately, I didn't know or hindi pa ako fully invested dun sa concept ng love languages back then. And I was also a poor communicator at the time. I keep things to myself. But that's a topic for another day. Tell me if you want me to talk about that. Okay, yung pagiging poor communicator natin. I struggled with that for so long. So another thing that is lacking, diba? And when there is something that's lacking in your relationship in the past, na-resolve nyo na ba siya? Or personally, do you think na kaya nyo na siyang punan this time around? So, 3 questions. Number 1 is, was there someone at fault? Number 2 is, was there a situation or a person that caused your breakup? Number 3, was there something that was lacking in your relationship? Genuinely answer these questions and then follow it up with the question na, posible ba yun ma-resolve? Why do we have to think about this? Kasi the last thing we want, or I want for you, and I want for myself or for anybody else, is to go back to a situation that will just give us pain again. Inulit mo pa. Sayang eh. Imbis na pa-move on ka na sana. Nag-history repeats itself ka lang. So this is a very critical period for you after your breakup. Yung time na iniisip mo kung babalik pa ba siya or kung pababalikin mo pa ba siya. Remember, you have the power. Crucial yung time na pahil ka na. Tapos nagparamdam siya ulit. And I wish that you can be more logical and not just emotional. Actually, nalala ko out of my 6 exes, I think 2 yung nagparamdam ulit after the breakup. Yung isa was within the year, yung isa naman is years after. So, may chance talaga. So, that's 2 out of 6 for me. Or like 1/3. Wow, math. Nung nagparamdam sila, ganyan, I thank God for giving me wisdom. Wisdom kasi naisip ko or naalala ko ulit yung reason behind that breakup. And that was enough for me to block that person again. Bakit? Para matulungan ko siyang makamove on. If ever you'd be in this situation, I pray that God gives you the strength and the wisdom so you can discern well. I am praying for you and I hope to get in touch with you. So I usually do live on TikTok nowadays around 10 p.m. so that I can answer more questions. And since this is like a journey I have with the followers of my account and TikTok and here in my podcast, I would like to take it slow. I would like to journey with you through this season of your life. So currently, we're in the module of breakup and moving on. Hopefully, we can progress and move forward to more topics like self-love, healing, ganyan. And then, hopefully, diba? After that, we can be open to dating again. So, I'd like to share this. I'd like to share my learnings with you so far on how I got over, of course, the greatest heartbreak of all, the first love. So, that's already the previous podcast episode. And kung paano ba ako naka-heal, naka-move forward, ano yung mga natutunan ko so far, ano yung mga librong binasa ko, sino yung mga fina-follow ko. Kasi why I created this podcast, that's why it's called Love University, because of the book that I read. Sa The Success Principles ni Jack Canfield, sabi niya doon, success leaves clues. And if you want to have a successful relationship, then we follow people who are also successful and try to see what they did. Okay. We can learn. We can duplicate their process and see what applies to our situation. I'm not saying I am successful. I'm just saying that at least right now in my current relationship, I am so at peace and I am happy and I know that I have the power in this relationship. I am not losing myself. And I would like for you to experience this too. The joy of being in a relationship that helps you grow and helps you have the freedom as well. And there are so many people to follow. Of course, currently trending ang Sky Podcast, ni Slater at ni Chris. So they're a very adorable couple. And so just follow these clues and let's journey together. I'd like to get in touch with you, mostly on TikTok, but I invite you over to my Facebook as well because I share some articles there, some memes, some Q&A, and some polls. So mas interactive kasi siya. But with TikTok, that's where I go live every week around 10 p.m. So I just announced the time and the day. And yeah, napahaba na to. I'm just really, really excited for you at this phase. And I hope and pray that you can fully move on and heal. That's it. Until next time.